in going into this event. It seems like there's been some tensions with them, both internally and externally. A lot of reasons to not believe that NaVi has the best chance at this major, despite the fact that they won the last one. G2, on the other hand, xantares said himself, he doesn't like the progress that this team has had. He doesn't like the rhythm that they're in right now.
Yeah, it's complicated to call, honestly. On one hand, of course, you mentioned NaVi, a beast that's bleeding a little bit in more ways than one. The fact that I think they're probably a bit better than what we might expect. I was just looking at the teams they have lost to throughout 2022. It's only 3 best of 3s. We're talking G2 in Katowice, FaZe in Imperial, and Heroic at the RMR. This is not a long list, not an extensive list. NaVi is still a very dangerous team, a very capable team, and there is the caveat that we are at the major. And despite whatever is happening, they would have the ability to just team up, be there and give their best Counter-Strike.
I think that's the thing. We hold them in such high regard, particularly, what they showed throughout the latter stages of 2021. The fact that they were the first team to ever have a flawless major run as well. There's a good reason why we hold them so highly as a team, and maybe why we're a bit more critical than some past teams as well.
The thing with NaVi is that they've done such a great job in 2021 that it's impossible to live up to the expectations that we set for them and they set for themselves. So right now, we're not exactly in love with them, but I still would put them as the favorites for a couple of reasons in this matchup. I think one is you can't deny the fact that Simple is still the best player in the world, even when there was the external conflicts going on during Katowice. In terms of even now, he's still incredibly focused, still just a force, and can take over games at will.
I don't even have the words to describe how I admire Simple for what he's been able to do in 2022 still. I mean, the limits and the references that he set in 2021 were out of this world, even by his own standards, and he is following through. 1.35 rating in 2022. He hasn't slowed down. He is still delivering. The question, as we had in yesteryear, is the cast around Simple. And this is where we shed some shadow. This is where we don't know what to expect. The Electronic, the bit, revelation of 2021. Are they ready to give what they gave NaVi in 2021?
And let's put that under the spotlight a little bit more then. I know we touched upon it in the pre-show too, but Electronic specifically, we've always seen him as kind of Simple's right-hand man, that kind of dynamic duo coming into things. What has kind of, what more is there to be desired from Electronic? Where have you seen him potentially, falling off a little bit in terms of his showings?
It's tough to see one thing that isn't working as well for Electronic, because when you point at what he's supposed to do in the game plan of NaVi, he's a space taker. He's trying to always be more aggressive on the map, trying to make some room so players like Simple can actually close them out. And it does feel like he's just lost some steam in that regard, that his read for the game isn't quite as sharp as it was in the past, that he's the way he was juking around utility, especially when you see him fly up banana. Those moments just ring out to me, but I've been seeing him just get caught off guard more, or the nades, perhaps the meta has moved around him and he hasn't adapted to it yet. So I want to see if Electronic coming into this major is full focus, because we've put him up as this big time player over and over again, and he fails to let us down, but this could be the major that he does.
Sometimes the truth is just in the numbers, right? That's as simple as it is. Electronic has been putting up incredible numbers now for 4 years in a row. 4 years he's been in the top 6 or 7 best players in the world. Right now in 2022, 1.09, 0.68 kills per round. These are not numbers that we have been accustomed to for Electronic. He was never exactly in the spotlight, because when you are playing next to this man, and obviously this is where the eyes are going to, but he was always putting up huge numbers consistently for NaVi, and he slowed down in that regard.
I think we can also echo the sentiment of, the caliber that we hold NaVi into as well, onto one of the players in Bit. The fact that, he's been at one major and won it. We had a nice little chat with Fallen after Imperials when he was saying, him and FNX, literally the only 2 players. Obviously one of them won't continue that streak here at the PGL ANTWERP major. But just in terms of his rookie year, was just exponential. So impressive from him. So what are you looking for him to kind of reignite coming into this major, Maui?
The thing about Bit is that in terms of decision making, it never blows you out of the water. It feels like he plays very much within what he's supposed to do, what Blade has outlined for him to do in terms of the procedures and protocols of a round, but his mechanics are unbelievably strong. The headshot percentage, best in the world, the fact that he is so quick with his time to kill, all of that makes him such a deadly force. And with the way that NaVi want to play, where sometimes, unlike other teams, they will take space on 2 parts of the map simultaneously, if his mechanics aren't flawless, he doesn't have the same same amount of support that some other riflers get on other teams. He has to actually succeed mechanically, or else the plan falls apart. And that has let bit down this year, where it feels like his mechanics, they're dropping off just a smidgen.
You know, I wonder, because I agree with you. I think his time to kill is nothing sort of crazy, right? The fact how quickly he can be on the target. I do wonder if the flaws and I guess the tribulations of NaVi in how they go about winning rounds just mean that he finds himself in a little bit more chaotic situations, a little bit less clear-cut moments where he just has to aim. Because technically, theoretically, if everyone does their job, you have a power play advantage in the bomb plant situation. You can just micro-focus your aim on that one angle you're supposed to hold. But if something goes wrong, then this is when the lines are getting blurred a little bit, and you have to have that V-stat, the game sense to find a way in. That's not usually Bit's forte. You put him on a path, and he will destroy what's on his path. That's what he does. And
then over on the other side of the server, an even more recent newcomer, I guess you could be saying, m0NESY, what were your takeaways from him from the Challenger stage? Because I know there was a lot kind of weighing on him to be continually proving himself coming onto these LAN stages.
Look, I was positively surprised during the Challenger. The reason for that is that the RMR gave me more questions than answers when it comes to m0NESY. I'm trying to remain very objective, because I, like anyone else watching Counter-Strike, I can be smokescreened by how impressive he is with the rifle, with the AWP, right? How quickly he can flick. I try to forget about that, not let myself get impressed, and think about, okay, what is the consistent input, the reliable frags he puts on board for G2? And I have to say, ever since Katowice, it's slowed down. We've seen some cracks in the armor where he sometimes misses shot he shouldn't. That has to be erased. That has to be cleaned.
It has to be, because even xTaz, in a 1PV interview that he had, talked about the fact that m0NESY is inconsistent. He talked about the fact that he flicks too much. He says that he needs to just calm down sometimes, because we've seen this before. Sometimes he's flanking a player, has them dead to rights, and instead of just taking an easy shot, an easy tracking shot, he just goes for this hyper fast flick. And yeah, it does blind us sometimes, because we think, wow, this guy is so fast. I want to stop hearing casters say he's so fast when he misses. It's not impressive to miss quickly. I don't care about that. I want to see him hit and be successful consistently, because that's what was so impressive about him when he jumped on the scene. The consistency that he hit those shots with. I don't care how fast they are. I just want to see them succeed and be delivering the frags that his team needs in order to just have a reliable expectation out of that kid.
And Maui, I want to pick your brains a little bit more about that xTaz interview, because a huge props to you. It was in front. You translated it yourself. Any takeaways from that? You were saying, he's not totally content with what G2 have been showing thus far.
Yeah, the thing is that xTaz has expressed some disappointments with how this roster has progressed. He says he doesn't like the rhythm that's going on right now with the team in terms of their progress. It's just kind of too up and down. And he also commented on the fact that in terms of how this team is playing tactically, he doesn't think they're ever going to be an incredibly tactical team. There's too many individuals that are seeking their own on the maps consistently. And I think that Aleksib is kind of having to dance with this. The fact that he's playing with players who have star power beyond that of which he's ever controlled before. So there needs to be the right balance of autonomy versus his strategies. And also,
yes.
Shout out to this guy, Rich, that actually helped me translate it.
I like the fact that you mentioned it, the tactical approach for G2. Just have a look at the maps they played the most, right? You're talking about Inferno, Mirage, and Dust 2. These are by far the 3 maps G2 plays the most. Where is the tactical identity behind it? I do agree. You have great players, and you want to play open maps where they can strike. But I think when you bring in Aleksib, you want to kind of help him deliver you that tactical depth. You want to maybe play a Vertigo, you want to play a Nuke, you want to play a map where his insight, his understanding of the game is going to prevail. Let's go back to the Ence days. The Train, the Nuke, that's where Aleksib made his mark. That's where he played this beautiful Counter-Strike. And now people are saying, oh, Aleksib is a fraud. He doesn't exactly play maps where you can shine so much. And da-da-da-da, where do we end? On Mirage.
That is, I mean, that's just a typical map where it seems like both of these teams want to flex their individual powers, and Aleksib doesn't get to have as much control as he maybe would have wanted. And yeah, I think Maniac, you really called it as it was. That's just kind of been one of the things hindering G2, is it feels like their map pool isn't quite as tactical or as strong in other regards as it should be at this point. The fact that they even had Nuke as the final option between Mirage, of course, NaVi's a pretty frightening team on Nuke. They were one of the best in the world last year. It's actually the best in the world last year. But nowadays, you think that Aleksib would have come up with some ideas. He made Ence look like a giant killer with that roster, and now with G2, he wants to go to the Puggy map.
And I don't even mind right now. I mean, right now we're talking about best of one between NaVi and G2. We end up on Mirage, that's fine. I think for the show, that's beautiful. We're going to deliver. We're going to be delivered a great game of Counter-Strike. But our job is as well to kind of project where G2 can go into this tournament. And this is where the map pool conversation is going to come back to haunt them. At some point, you have to be able to punish the other giants on map they wouldn't really want to play, on maps they maybe have left on the side. If this is just Inferno, Mirage, Dust 2 you come in with, there might be limitations.
I just want to circle back to the tactical element of G2 as well, because it made me think of something that Devilwalk was talking about coming into the Challenger stage, kind of questioning the T side looks from G2.
I think that right now with G2, their T sides are actually much better than the eye test says. When you look at the stats, they actually are one of the best T side teams in the world at all of the relevant Tier 1 tournaments. They have almost always above a 50% win rate on the harder side of the map. It's just that we sometimes see these obvious and glaring flaws. And for the expectations we have for G2 to play what should be the perfect blend of star power and tactical Counter-Strike, we expect absolute greatness, and we just haven't seen it quite yet evolve in the way that we wanted.
That's because we haven't gotten to that blend that you were talking about. And this is when the doubters of the world point the fingers at G2, because whenever individuals find their rhythm, it's all good. I think Alexibi has a good enough picture of the game. He can send his army wherever he has to, and they'll do the damage. What we haven't seen quite yet is G2 hit a brick wall, and then them figuring out something outside of the box, something deep in terms of how they approach the round. That's the next step. But that has to be practiced. That has to be put forth as one of the effort. We as a team want to work on our diamond strategies. We want to work on some of these gimmicks, not just hope that niko is going to find his timing, hope that Hunter is going to do his job in window. Yes, they will, because they're exceptional. But the day they don't, then you look a little bit outside of your comfort zone.
Well, I'm very excited to be diving into this Mirage, one of the most split matchups coming into the opening stage of the Legend stage of PGL Antwerp Major. Scrawny, Lauders, who are you siding with for this one?
Who am I siding with? Man, it's a hard one to split. You think you're excited, Freya? I think I'm more excited, okay? Because this is going to be fireworks. The individual level of each of these players, I'm happy we met on Mirage. I like this conversation.
Yes.
You know, a lot of our really good, may I add, very good pre-game segments today.
Yeah, it was all right. You guys are all right.
They're phenomenal. But a lot of the times we jump into the server and, you know, we've had some disconnect. This is one of those where I'm glad that we had a bigger picture conversation about G2, their future, their run at this event, and now we're just going to lock it on Mirage and let's see what happens, man. This is gloves off, fisticuffs between NaVi and G2, two of the most star-studded, individually incredible teams that you could piece together.
Individual skill on a lot of these rosters these days is so high that it's hard to say who are the top two, but of course these two are in the conversation right up there with FaZe, and I think Mirage is the best possible place for this to go. I think the point that Maniac brought up about the expanding map pool for G2 is going to be a big one. During the Challenger stage, I heard them discussing the fact that Ancient has been a problem in terms of G2 getting to win it in the vetoes and having to go up against good teams on it. The best of three is a problem that will come up, and it will expose their flaws if we get there. But they even at least got a bit better on Ancient. And as Maui pointed out, their T-sides are not nearly as bad as people want to make it seem. I feel like a part of the culture is right now is to doubt Alexi because of the situation on OG, where first of all he had much worse players, not like bad players, but in terms of like
not niko
millions of dollars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's just put it that way, okay? So and right now, like they've delivered. I mean, the results have shown really like a high amount of promise, and we just saw FaZe lose to Ence in a matchup where Ence just looked like the better team in a world where a lot of people, if not most people, are going to say FaZe were the favorites to win this major. So that's just to say that the competition is incredibly high. After following PGL Stockholm 2021, the amount of roster moves that went down, all in order to build a team that could stop NaVi from winning every single LAN they attended. And now we're seeing some of those rosters come to fruition.
Yeah.
G2 is a direct result of NaVi in that sense, losing every single final to them. Them, in fact, not even being able to win a map in any of these finals. And, well, here at the Major, in the Legend stage, we're going to get to see a rematch from their win at Kato, actually, where G2 won 2-0 over NaVi. Of course, that was the kind of the height of the conflict at that point when we were at Katowice. So there was, part of us that were just like, we would like to see this rematch in sounder times. Hard to say if those times are actually sounder or not, but NaVi are going to have a chip on their shoulder about that loss. And, oh, wow, that's an easy frag. Jax was just lighting up a smoke.
All that's left of Jax is this puff of smoke.
It's like the magic trick, except you disappear before you throw the smoke bomb down. Yeah.
Simple with the...
and now he's here.
Melon smashers.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, Simple's got Monacy as well. His protege.
His.
Yeah, I just... Yep.
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 It's close. And no shot now. No shot. niko, it's niko. It is in fact niko.
What happened to G2, man?
Man, they got melted down like a cheese string in the microwave.
Oh, it's been a while you haven't brought that out.
Yeah.
God, you just had to remind us. You're disgusting.
So we didn't even get to see what they want to do.
Man, we had
you
so
could
much-
see from the angle that Jax was holding that smoke that it was probably going to land in B. We know
Tell you,
that.
this round was going to be something. Look at Electronic hiding behind this. Look at this guy.
Always thinking skinny.
Sucking the gut. Electronic's got no reason to peek.
Yeah, you know what? He should just swing though. They actually he has to die. So they're leaving him.
Oh my god.
He can't go plant. Now they're literally running away. This is genius.
10 seconds left. 7 seconds left. They're all hiding still. He's going to run into the site.
Oh, okay.
They're going to knife
Force the
him.
plant.
They're
Yeah.
going to knife him. Oh, he gets shanked.
Oh, by everybody.
Skewered between Simple and
He
Boomich.
got
No
gang
bomb
knifed.
plant.
No way.
Oh, dude.
That's actually a huge
Electronic
mistake.
jumping away.
That was too funny. So they don't lose anybody. They knife
Man.
him as he's planting, and no bomb gets planted. And they don't lose a single player on this round.
And we just spent, between the analyst desk and us, we spent like 20 minutes painting up why this was going to be so exciting, and then we get the flattest pistol round of the day.
I thought it was the best one, actually.
From certain perspectives.
Yeah, I guess it depends how you look at it.
The competitiveness wasn't quite there. Everything else was.
If you like Navi, you love that round. Put it that way.
Where'd that money go? It was Boomich who did it.
Put it in the savings.
Put it in the savings, huh? Bit's still playing with the M4A4.
I like how they all knifed him, too.
Yeah, right.
Should be like $300 per stab. Actually, that wouldn't work out. You can't kill someone slower than... Okay.
Split the pot.
$1,500 worth.
Want to see?
Attempt.
Catapulted behind the boxes. Jax is there with him now. And what are we leaning on? The Deagle and niko? Yeah.
Yeah, just the Deagle and niko, huh? You have a problem with it? You don't think it's that good? You think it's overrated?
Now that it's dead, I can talk a bit more smack. But no, he reminds us what's up. So who's still on the A4 nowadays? Bit and One Flotro.
One Flotro, man. He needs to stop that. He plays Cave on Ancient with an A4. And he still has 25 kill habs.
And he's still at the
He's
legend
still like
stage.
insane with it, yeah.
Jax picks up the Deagle, seeing if he can get some impact with it. Patience is patience. They wait, and it's a spray from Electronic to end this. 2-0 for Navi. They lose one rifle, but it's all good.
Yeah, I like the storylines coming into this matchup. We're talking about performances from Electronic at Bit needing to come up. Absolutely no questions about Simple. It's just unreal what he does, man. It's unreal, especially considering like you have every excuse in the world for the last 6 months to affect you, and it just hasn't at all. So
Imagine how different your lives could be if you were as good as Simple at Counter-Strike.
yeah, you'd be farming Warzone on stream to 50,000 people every day.
And then winning majors on your off time.
Yeah.
Well, I say majors, but it is currently singular.
In their last matchup, Hunter was the guy to watch. He was the guy who farmed Navi. In fact, in a lot of their poorer finals where they've struggled, Hunter is one of the most resilient players on G2 and doesn't nearly get enough credit for it. He is someone who stood up high for them. We've got some very quiet rounds here out of G2. Map falls silent. Close A ramp pressure. This is a feel-out phase. They want to know which Navi they're going to get. Navi perfectly comfortable in their spots. Ready to pull the pin on the peak from Electronic and Bit. And yeah, we haven't seen G2 apply any pressure, so Navi have held a lot of grenades late into this round, but those are two of the last smokes that they had as we cross the 45-second mark, and the crawl comes in into connector. And they'll start to push. Second player comes out. Jax gets the first one. Alexi Hunter get the next two. And the A site collapses like a house of cards.
Just headshots.
The bomb has to cross up, however, 30 seconds. There's no one on Cat to stop this. Enough nades for the T's to pull this off.
How's Simple going to save the day? Will not find the bomb planter as he commits to the spam on the wrong side of box, and then Hunter gets Electronic inside a jungle immediately. So Simple, they dodged him. They dodged death itself for the most part, and Hunter is swinging for the fences. 3 kills in this one, and it was just that quick connector pop. There was
Not
a chance
quick.
from the cat hold.
Oh, but you mean, yeah, from the point
just
of
like
execution.
the explosion of frags.
But that buildup was that was like the first 4 episodes of a season of Breaking Bad right there. How slowly they worked on the map control just to test any type of reactions, see if NaVi got scared or decomposed their setup and pushed in spots where they could punish it. Nothing like that went down, and NaVi got punished in their positions. Not a fun way to lose a round. That was G2 looking like a bit of Cloud9, actually, with that approach.
That's a scary thought.
And again, kind of another quiet round. Actually, mid-control won so early.
Big emphasis on Jax here. Electronic will take him down from Palace. 6th kill for Electronic. And in that momentary pause of action at the A site, we get this peek into mid, but the peek will net Alexi B a frag. Molotov lands on top of him. Bit will get the kill. Simple trying to play inside smoke with the deagle. Oh, but niko actually gets by. Perfecto will pick that up, so no problem. Perfecto with a second, in fact. m0NESY trying to turn it back. He's got Bit right there on the jungle. Simple trying to peek around, and sure enough, he ends it. NaVi right back to winning ways.
Well, yeah, they pick off Jax trying to run across the balcony. He's there to clear out a ramp and also can clear out under balc. Just Rifler peeks and takes him out. The attack is slow past that point. J2 are playing in a style that not used to seeing, which is kind of interesting. But so far, NaVi are chilling with that. That's one good round out of G2, very solid, into a straight-up loss with no bomb plant and now no money.
Perfecto's nade will come up short. Zilch with that one. 3 Deegs. Who's got him? niko, Alexi, and m0NESY. m0NESY takes to the front. He's the first guy in. Him and Jax side by side. niko there to support it.
Oh, the Academy League duel here coming out between m0NESY and Bit. Will he take the swing? There it is. Oh, it goes a bit above the head. Did it hit the incendiary? I don't even know.
That seemed like millimeters, baby, but Bit, oh my, he gets run down by m0NESY. Now that's an AK in his hands, and Simple's tagged to 16. Oh, Hunter.
What?
P250 kill. We've got a live one.
We, in fact, do. Bomb
No
can't
armor.
be planted safely, so they have to wait the molly out. It's going to cross up. m0NESY's not done farming.
way!
What the hell is this? Everyone dies. They win off the pause and pounce into the site. Stylistically, what's going on here? They're using some similar plays. Bit had no idea what was coming. m0NESY took his gun and killed everybody else with it.
I mean, that one's just nonsense. This is a calamity.
Yeah.
For the second time today, we get a team
Jesus.
winning with unarmored pistols.
Yeah.
Vitality and now G2.
I don't know if they've tapped into something, but like seriously, their game plan looks so directed in a way that's tailored just to NaVi specific style. I'm not exactly sure. A new G2. And part of this as well is that they're winning mid very early without dropping a player. So if nothing else looks good, that's something that could work universally throughout a half in a multitude of ways. NaVi will not be shy around mid in following rifle rounds. Be very common to see Bit taking over ladder room control and up to 3 riflers inside of mid fighting. Simple as well.
Bit He'll die quick. Pistols hit a couple headshots, but nothing here. This is G2 just putting the squeeze on the A site. Woo! Simple's gonna drop bomb though. Give him a chance and he'll take you down, but Hunter will end it. Hunter having a good game so far. 7-3, top of the board for G2.
What an interesting match.
We're all tied up, dude.
Where does this go?
Something special.
I can't feel like NaVi were ready for this. This is just so like stylistically different for what we've seen. It's not like they're not used to seeing it in general from other teams. Like if they played against Cloud9, this is exactly what they understand and know. When NaVi and Cloud9 play Mirage, it's the highest level Mirage you'll ever watch.
Do you think this comes down to, again, like the conversation the desk had prior to the match, where it's like, oh, it's not a tactical map, it's not Alexi B's maybe wheelhouse, but this is Alexi B's look on Mirage?
Something new. I mean, they could be trying things. They could have workshopped some different styles. This could be xTaz coming in and attempting it. It's definitely not a wrong style. It's just different. And so far, at least a couple of rounds we've seen, they look very, very clean. Even if it was a rough start. So, tempo change here. As they crawl out the right side corner of an A ramp smoke, there is one Falma sitting on default, completely isolated for the meantime. They're going to clear Boomich out in a second. Jax will take him down. The routing is perfect. Everything else has been mollied out, so the whole site is compromised, and Hunter will get caught off. Bomb plant will come down early, and the CTs are just ready for any other lurks. They take too long with this bomb, then that flank is going to look even better. And niko puts himself into an interesting spot considering they don't have a way to protect him from jungle control. Of course, he's the kind of guy you can leave in a position like this and it'll be safe. And they also might not think you'd play here. So I don't pay attention to him. Yeah, we'll see if he takes his first contact, but he dies. He's out of the round.
Now Alexi looking to tether nicely with m0NESY. That op under Palace, dead to rights. Clean as can be, but it's time. And Alexi also next to fall. Jax has been set up for the clutch. He just needs to get the guy off the bomb. And sure enough, he comes off it.
They don't have time to defuse.
They just played that retake perfectly. They get all the kills, but
they did everything too late. That's
time makes a world of difference. And G2 will win the round because of it.
They couldn't have got those kills faster. So they just started way too late, apparently. What was that? Free frag for Jax and a free round. Wait, they let him back in? Like they got the offer down under Balk, no kills. They got niko right away as the loose piece, front facing, ready to take contact in front of connector.
Only one player watching CT, and that's when that player dies, Diffuser gets off it.
And I like the makeup of this round as well. Again, just pouncing on the fact that NaVi have left them middle. They will not leave free space on the table. Now what they can potentially expect is a late aggression to try to take over mid in 20 to 30 seconds. They've gone underpass and they're still waiting with top boxes control. There's not going to be any mollies inside of window to take out m0NESY. As long as window's not smoked, you can't even line that up safely. Combo rifle set up here. Oh no, he shoots Perfecto's leg.
Team damage, not great. Perfecto's still going to go for the push. Oh, and with that,
still wins.
He gets Jax.
Even though he got off.
Oh, props to Perfecto. Pressure on him applied by Simple. And he's still able to do his job well enough. If there was a second player in there, could have been a different story, but the one and done is all he needs. He falls back, and we've got G2 looking to reclaim from a man disadvantage. Bit and Electronic just going to hold their positions to the end of time. No, not even. Bit actually gets aggressive, makes a proactive move, finds m0NESY on the doorway, and then just goes right back to where he was. Like a haunted house, the statues move when you don't watch them. And now Hunter, 15 seconds. There's 15 seconds left. And G2, they're just walking around.
But yeah.
Alexi's going to get the kill towards the B site, but I mean, the bomb has to be outside the window yesterday.
He could plant for no time, went the wrong way. Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
What is happening?
Oh no. What is this?
It's a different look, but there's, I mean.
They're both like, they're both, they're both like so confused about how good each other are. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's like the minimal amount of resistance. One late retake for NaVi. One round where G2 just run out of time. I mean,
they're scaring themselves.
I guess. I wanted to believe that G2 were actually coming into this playing pretty well. Super late frag from Bit, and then suddenly,
killing Modesty inside ladder. That just
they have no idea what's happening at all. They
it all starts stacking.
Pushed off of that split. Well, let's try to make sense of this. Surely they just need to warm up or something.
Yeah, we're
It's seen some good stuff. I mean, it's a strange one.
We're crunching the numbers.
We're tabulating.
When we get an answer, we'll let you guys know.
Simple on the AUG. Best gun in the game.
Ooh, great grenade damage. Electronic chopped down to half. And a smoke at the top of ramp. So those prying eyes of Monacy smoked out. Simple. Nice angle. Not one you see too often. Ooh, another frag this time. Yeah, what goes around comes around, and Hunter dropped to 60. Middle once more. Under wraps by G2. Hunter versus Electronic could be the pain point of this push.
Both of them naded down to 50. It's perfect.
It was set up well.
Oh.
And even though Electronic gets the first shot, Hunter gets the first headshot and a second kill as he's flashed into the jungle, activated. As they look for more, we've got Simple pressing onto the murder hole. Perfecto already holding the gap, but it comes down to Bit, and he needs to be the difference. Jack sees him, sweeps him away, pushes bomb into the site, and this is so comfortable for G2. Another slow round, another meticulous move, and one that hinges on Hunter.
It's always a bad sign to see people like running out of time and like beating themselves, because that's when it looks foggy. But outside of that, I think we've seen like a pretty fair few quality rifle rounds here from G2. Another sound attack. Hunter gets weaponized perfectly. I mean, first of all, comes down to aim to get his first kill. He's 10-5 now, winning that over Electronic, who also had 50 health, with the first bullet kill, even though Hunter comes down to 7 HP. And then they pair that nicely. Complementary play to use Hunter flashed out of connector with Monacy's flash to grab a second target, and they've once again ISO'd the under balcony guy like they did in the previous round. And it's just overall good. I wonder at what point are NaVi not going to play it so slow in the early portions of the round and attempt to take the fight to G2, especially inside of middle. Bit's done all right in Cat, but just by himself. He is the guy fragging for NaVi at the moment. Double up in window to take over ladder room control early. Just pistols though behind Simple's AUG.
Bit hit. niko comfortable enough to walk out, and it's an insta-frag into Boomich. Opt to support over the shoulder. That AUG on the wrong side of connector for the moment. So with it, the hopes of NaVi fade. Alexi with the late play, gonna find Electronic jumping into the window. Yeah, ooh, supposed to be easy. A little bit more labored, and Simple. He's gonna escort his teammate to go grab that AK-47. 2 weapons can be moved forward into the next one. But this is G2 reaping their rewards.
I like how they've kind of been building out a way to get faster and faster. I mean, there's like metrics here that I'm just thinking, you know, G2 have the better ideas right now than NaVi. They've taken mid control when it's been free constantly. They haven't overthought that part. They go for it, they grab top boxes. There have not even been late re-aggressions towards middle from NaVi, so that's already a huge win for the T side. And then the connector pressure later on as well. They've performed these attacks in positions where NaVi have to fight without being able to throw counter utility, which has also pressurized them. And all these things would lead me to believe that NaVi want to either attack these ideas early on or try to find out with double pushes on extremities of the map what is actually open in this spot. But I don't think the CTs have advantages all posting up on certain off angles and waiting for the explosions to come their way. Especially not right now versus G2, who are definitely playing well enough to win these fights. But now they're, getting faster.
Oh, Hunter very quick into the ladder room, but Electronic, he catches the next player off. It's Alexi between the two mid smokes. Hunter not going to be allowed to be comfortable, but the grenades don't really affect him too much, so he'll lock into this one, and we'll see what G2 do with him. He's a hook in the side of the mouth.
Absolutely. Powerful outpost. They lose a player. His rotation into B is something different. Like, that won't be easy to do, but it does affect the CT positions. As we can see, we're sitting in get right. You can't float on the opposite side of the get right pillar, which was one of the best angles towards window. So Bit will now start to walk back towards that side, and Hunter will look for the attack, but mostly just to try to scare him. However,
Bit's got it.
Yeah, Bits wins.
Jack's able to cross to the first set of windows. We've got 3 CTs inside sight. Perfecto down beneath it. As Jax tries to stomp his way through, he gets shut out. And niko, nice jump right into the windowsill for the trade, but it's little. It's way too little, way too late. NaVi, stellar hold. Really does boil down to the Bit versus Hunter fight in jungle.
Yes, he found that timing. Bit wants to both be aware of the B Halls fights that are coming his way in just a second, and also the fact that they know that someone slipped into the ladder room. And Hunter throws his kit, both because he needs to protect himself from Connector, but he also wants to let the B guys know that he's coming, because his goal is to just draw their aggro while most of the players from his team come out of the B halls. But Bit wins that duel nice and early.
Buys right back. The battle continues, and the bloodbath this time leans the way of G2.
Maui, did you see how fast that was?
And Simple. Oh, looking to get him while he runs. Oh, holy yeah, it wasn't that fast. Modesty, blood from the sky as Alexi gets back with the headshot into Simple. What is that? Wow. Oh, Bit. He'll shut down Hunter, so we're right back to the 3v3. Jax.
Hold on.
Yeah, he's got a little life left in this one. Boomich will be pressured off ticket with the Molotov. That's going to enable the 2 players to cross, but there is still that cat angle being held.
Interesting.
They jumped over it.
2v2 handshake. They need to clear out these positions. There's no way for Alexi to plant not knowing who's on cat. And if they wait long enough, the rotations will come in. But this is all because of Perfecto's info. Now, what's crazy is that niko might score a rotation kill because they jumped through an over connector. Boomich thinks there's no way someone could have crossed.
Oh, niko went airborne.
Wow, that's a really great mid-round idea, executed perfectly by G2. A read on the situation that could net them the round entirely. And it's all because they were worried about someone right here in this spot, so Perfecto doesn't even feel like...
And the trickle down from that, Perfecto's waiting for niko to peek right side jungle. Alexi was planting in an angle Perfecto could have easily stopped.
Yeah.
But he's just more concerned with jungle. The trickle down effect here could very well cost NaVi their 6th round, because without the anti-air of Simple, niko jumps over the gap.
It's enormous. It's the whole reason NaVi rotated.
He gets no opening.
Boomich thinks he's safe.
Wow.
That's a cool mid-round. Love that. What an insane round, actually, between the Modesty opening into the Simple's flick. That is... I know Simple has unlimited flicks that look unbelievable, but that was actually one of the best. Like, he's blind, snapshot into... I mean...
What is he even seeing?
He saw him, got flashed.
And just feels it.
Could totally just figure out the trajectory from that alone. I mean...
What?
Yeah. Oh. That's generational talent in one flick.
That's the best in the world. Flicks fast and lands it.
Almost as good as Brokey.
Oh, yeah. Attack pause from NaVi. Ooh, this T side. It's different.
It's different.
It's different,
It's
man.
kind of cool.
It is.
You know, they are trying something new, and they had a flub with the time. But that's also what
That was the
Cloud,
one
that's
time
also
it
what
looked
Cloud-
bad.
Yeah, that's the one time it looked bad, but
Yep.
that also does come with the style sometimes.
Yep.
And we've seen that with
for sure.
with Cloud9. They're playing with fire when it comes to the clock coming low. But this new idea that G2 are bringing, it does seem like their players are comfortable with it, which is not something expected when all of Alexi's teams and all of G2's players, even before Alexi, have played very fast CS.
Jax looking to just chase down this A hit, but it's a double for Boomich. Underneath the palace is where niko will end him. Electronic's gonna fall down into the sandwich, but he gets spotted, and Monasty's able to recover that.
Oh my god.
3 versus 3 back for G2, despite Boomich's opening double. Bit puts shots through smoke, nothing. Simple creeps up, no one. And the ticket player is about to swing. Perfecto, it's just open territory, then Monasty over top of the firebox. Frag comes out from Ticket, that's gonna tell him there's another player there. And Simple, he's trying to find his way, his path, his routing into this situation. Can he save Perfecto? Can he just win the round on his own?
And Perfecto smoke totally misses. He doesn't have a way out of this situation. He's only got an MP9. They don't know that, actually, even though one shot earlier. They could think that's the one who died.
They don't have utility to force him out either.
Lots of incentive to try to wait.
niko's gonna make a swift move back towards middle. Bomb's gonna remain tucked.
Yeah, they could actually overcomplicate this situation. The op is rotating in through spawn, and this will give some assistance. Ooh, chance to shoot.
In the open.
Excuse me? They're just running out. Oh, they leave one
It's setting up a
firebox.
trap. It's all about setting up Alexi. And as Alexi starts to creep out,
No,
Perfecto! Great cover. niko in the 1v2. Time is his biggest enemy. And that is great damage as he almost gets Simple down with just the spam. Still, it's a pressure, but niko, it's close. He's got 10 shots, and he just gets pulled apart as Simple seems to disappear in sight.
Wow. I have kind of a headache because I'm thinking they're playing this 3-on-2, but what is the value add from taking over mid? So they had time to make this move, but does Monasty need to swing on CT spawn just to secure a bait if they even have this other player coming in through connector off of that play? And how do they both end up doubling on firebox? Are they that scared? A little weird. I feel like there were better options there. I don't know. We've seen some good ideas.
And we've seen growing pains.
Yeah, we've seen growing pains for sure.
G2's
But I
second
mean,
attack.
in Simple's mind, that's free. Even if that is some kind of bait. That could have worked. Obviously, Perfecto was watching it. But that was the whole point of Simple coming into CT spawn, was so that Perfecto had a way to fight and approach that situation differently. And for about 30 seconds, Simple didn't feel like he could move. He felt like he had to stay around his area. But then he saw they were giving him space. So this game continues to be close.
As close as can be by the looks of things. If it wasn't for that crazy pistol round win at the B site from G2, it would be NaVi in the lead. They were working with about the exact same as what they have right now. Can lightning strike twice? The flash is at the front. Oh, but he misses his chance at the deagle. If he gets just able to pop bit, then everybody slips out. The closest rotates, still a bit of time away. Bit getting that one kill just kind of sends G2 reeling for a moment. But they're not even working with a flashbang. It's going to have to be dry. Jax makes footsteps sound, so Bit going to stay locked in. Ooh, okay, Jax crawls underneath it. Of course, the player on the garbage can is watching the door. And there come the kills. They are able to exit, but with no frags, it still just feels like a matter of time. Simple's cover gets into position, and it is all good.
Very slow.
Very slow indeed.
It did work for them already. Almost a similar play. Getting to the end of halls with just a couple of deagles last time. This time only one. And now round 15. Bly comes in. Any question marks? Alexi only has a Galil. Apart from that, looks pretty solid. NaVi's buy, of course, a bit better. Kits on most people, although why wouldn't everyone buy a kit? Simple decides he has no money for that, and Simple gets tagged on his cross over towards the stairs. Damage is one thing, and a kill is another, and I think the lowest value target to get the 17 HP is the AWP at the beginning of the round. So it might end up having a butterfly effect. We'll see.
niko making a bit of noise on A site. But more of the same from G2, a slower pace. What an anomaly in this head-to-head.
Yeah, it's breaking some new territory here in terms of ideas for G2. And when NaVi control the tempo on T side, we'll see another very different kind of style. An exploratory Monacy finds a first target. And Hunter will get spotted, trying to fall back into underpass.
Sticks around, Simple.
It's a pretty big win. But at this point, time is money. And at 30 seconds, the bomb will have to make its intentions known. This round is going to try to end B.
See ya. Bit from the back. And
Oh, but they're just going B off this fake. niko wanted to get this kill. If he pull the rotation slightly, and now Jax starts to make noise, but now they've got to find the target. They'll tuck.
They do.
Jax, whoa. Fiery hot shot onto Bit. One back empty pillar. Rotation's coming in. Bomb is a little bit late. This
Perfecto
smoke
could
will
stop
help
it.
them out.
Jax goes in, gives cover, and sure enough, down to the wire.
Oh,
but
he just
Jax,
runs through.
Yeah, making a round for himself. 3 kills on this one from 5 to 8. Boomich into the clutch as G2 look to take that 1-round lead at the end of this half. Another round that comes down to the final 5 seconds. Jax does it all.
He's frying. Those were some moisturized peaks from Jax.
Slippery, smooth, suave.
As always, Jack's a movie star. Cool. I mean, definitely not what I expected from G2. Any kind of close half, I think, is fine, for both of these teams who have some reps versus each other, Mirage versus each other. Probably spend more time studying each other's Mirages than anything else, honestly. And yeah, now that we swap over G2 CT side, of course, it can't look the same for them from what we saw in that first half. But will they bring that same kind of energy? Are they going to be more timid around mid? Are they going to play back and have a lot of off angles like we saw NaVi try? Questions.
Time for answers. NaVi gonna feel like they can just take the gloves off, finally play their pace.
That molly was spectacular for this setup, as we can see the one spot that they were looking in mid, but the overstack over to B is the right idea.
Alexi with the clean 1 tap, but then 2 kills back, and remember, niko's still here, and they forget! Oh my. You want to talk about clean? Both of those, just clinical executions, and niko continues on. He loses Monacy, so it's going to have to be him or Jax, and Bit takes it back. From the back door, he comes outwards, and it looks like NaVi, they just want to leave, man. They don't trust this place. They want to get the hell out of here, and Jax is going to realize that he's 2 steps behind them. NaVi sprinting to A, Boomich in jungle, so that's going to cut off a killer piece of the rotation. Can Jax get this kill before he slips through, or does he take the long road? And even if he does, by the time he gets to default, he does have the kit. That's 5 extra seconds to work with. But you'd think that Boomich will just double back from jungle. Oh, Jax is in between them.
Where does he think?
They think he's cat or mid or something, but at least the utility will tell them what's up. Jax pushes into the site, contemplating options, sees the pick from Bit, and no, because that one's labored, it's able, Boomich, to attack from behind and end it for NaVi. Whew, a pistol for NaVi could bode well.
I'm trying to figure out where Boomich would have thought he could have been in that spot. Walking up connector in through jungle to peek murder hole or something. Anyways, Oh, here's a spot where you thought
It's just incredible.
It's amazing. It really is amazing. And they have 3 in the B sites. Alexi with 1, niko with 2, and that's not quite enough. Bit is having a great game. 16 and 7, impact can be felt, absolutely.
Opening kill versus the force buy of G2 comes easily. Hunter going to stay tucked. That B site wide open for the taking.
Sniff out some clues. Takes Jax out with a couple of nades around the belt as well.
Little added bonus. Utility starts to trickle in around mid. Curious to see if Hunter holds his nerve, whether he waits or makes a play. For now, he sits.
Hoping for a lurk to come in. The 8 site will slowly be crushed. All spots empty. It's time to move on in.
All this has been given over now as well. Had the stack sat, then maybe, just maybe. But you know, move it into the next one. Why not? Deagle, CZ, Scout could be enough. For now, this game of chess continues.
Really is a game of chess. They're looking for clues.
It's not bad CS by any means.
It feels like a title fight a little bit with the amount of feeling out that there is. Now, the NaVi T side going slow. That's not a surprise. That's not a surprise at all.
This one a little more normal.
But I do like a G2 that's willing to work harder for some of their rounds. I think that's actually something that I've personally been critical of Alexi when it comes to the calling, is that sometimes they play so fast as if they have a huge advantage in certain moments where then the rounds get thrown away, where multiple people get traded. But with the level of individual talent on the roster, I can see why you could also think about leaning more into a style that opens up way more 50-50s on T side instead of super quick rounds. But then he's already got that other half figured out. He's got lots of very good eco strats, fast half buy strats, and fast full buy strats. Now pairing that with very strong defaults that are slow crawling, yeah, he's just wrapped out a super solid philosophy for how to look at an entire T side.
Hunter looking for that second CZ kill, but Electronic's going to stop him at just the 1. Still, there's a lot of damage being done here. Boomich is on 30. I'm assuming by way of scout. They lose a player trying to push out from ramp. And they don't just lose anybody, they lost Simple. Alexi tries to take that same place. The gun has fallen too far away for him to pick that back up, so he'll concede it and play with the Deagle. Unfortunately for Alexi, it's going to be niko to try and help him, and that's 34 health. But m0NESY's coming back with that scout and could still get here in time. Bit looking for something, and sure enough, it is niko for basically free. Ooh, fire on the feet of Alexi B. Means he falls back into the corner of this site, and m0NESY's just not being given any targets to work with, so eventually they get there. Headshot from Bit, 20 seconds on the clock, and the scout just looks to hold cross, but with the flashbangs, it's perfect. Connector guy's smoked off, can't stop that front plant, and m0NESY's going to take further damage. So a nice slow squeeze from NaVi as they earn themselves a 10th round win, leading G2 by 2.
And then we'll see.
Take those, and almost gets Bit.
Some good rounds from Jax. Classy on the entries. NaVi came into the match and like, why is G2 fighting our whole flow? They look just like us. No one's really like top fragging for G2, as weird as that sounds. There's no one that's actually got that many more kills. I mean, like Max is out of 11 here.
Yeah, 11 to 8.
Yeah. It has been such a team effort in that regard.
Nobody quite like Bit.
No one quite like Bit, that's true.
Which was something we had to mention.
That was true before the match started, you know?
One of the players who'd cool off.
Nope.
He's going to start this major ferociously.
Bit doesn't lose majors.
Oh, almost, Boomich. Almost, my friend. And yet Niko going to struggle as well to finish off the kill, but he gets there. With fire on his feet, he continues in connector Bit.
Oh, there is no way Nico's going to expect that he didn't see this.
But he kills Simple first, so
Oh.
probably well worth it. 4 versus 2. Perfecto not able to catch Jax as he just slides down the ladder. It's being held by Monacy. Remember, a quarter HP for the CT Opper.
Yeah. Well, you know where the bomb's at, so you can expect it to be recollected
This
soon.
is what they want. They want that Palace peak. But oh, Monacy gives it up. That would have been the perfect chance for Perfecto to come out. Bit kills Jax underneath.
Oh,
That's going to draw the attention. Monacy, he is split between 2 separate worlds. And now down to 3 HP, so the Molotov should end him. But Perfecto catching him on the cross means the 2v4 to the 2v2. Hunter comes in for this fight. He's got Bit up close, and still they have no bomb. That's the biggest issue. Perfecto will be smoked off. And with both counter-terrorists on the other side of this, he gets confirmed, shot at, and still able to almost slip one in. He's so concerned about CT, but there's nothing there. It's here on Catwalk that Alexi B is standing, and he gets caught off by that, so G2 closed the distance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, leaving the bomb is a little weird. Sometimes you leave the bomb in vision because then the CTs react to it. Like, they'll play a little differently. But they kind of had to get that back in that spot with the amount of time left over in the CTs, both in positions that were hard to get to. That round was almost handed back to NaVi, though it got a little sketchy. Monacy was probably doing too much. Jax could have had the underbound cross, and he could have had Palace, and then they were basically fine. Decided to look for it. Nade is pretty beautiful here. Square on Boomich, 35 damage. And Hunter will oftentimes be the first point of contact in these slow crawl rounds because of his activity around jungle window. Very heavy lean from the CTs on the A site. Even rifling on Monacy here, sitting on default.
Oh, Niko, he wants this fight.
Jesus, man.
Oh, Bit tucked into the corner of it.
He searched out everything else and knows they must have escorted somebody.
Oh,
You can feel
shoots him.
that.
Gets him in the gut. Man advantage here for G2, who are basically out of nades. 3 flashes, 1 frag.
Yeah, surprised to not see any rotations here. They still got 4 on the right side of the map, and Hunter will find a frag. There still are 2 players that will not tell them that B is light. Alexi sitting solo at the moment.
Boomich could still figure this out.
Yeah, they're walking up on him. Let's see if his gun sticks out.
He saw that.
Yeah.
And now he's going to hear the market play as well. Gets the guy back on bench. Remember, Hunter 8 HP after his fight. And so that bomb's looking to just jump outwards and get itself planted. Simple. Not going to see this as Hunter just holds. We mentioned the lack of utility here for the CTs, but a couple flashes could just get that retake under wraps. Niko's going to be coming in from middle. The only guy on Catwalk. They're worried about lurks. Electronics up in the apartments waiting for some kind of a flank, but that one's not coming. First flash thrown from Monacy gets the 2 CTs out from the door. Simple looking to lock them, and he hits the collateral, pops up, drops Niko, flicks over towards Jax, who's now just the last one alive, and while he will catch Simple's head, it is NaVi with the round win.
They did such a good job of setting up Simple in this spot, especially Boomich, like securing the bomb plant, causing enough noise and distraction after getting Alexi in this close right market window position, and then the CTs didn't feel like they could even approach in this spot. Doubling up on bench was huge. Boomich gets a kill in this position as well, and then he just doesn't stop fragging. A great move by the captain to walk up into B, but that was a glaring hole in the setup after G2 had gotten those first 2 frags. Wonder why there was no other rotation. Think about that, 4 players alive and a hole in middle to get up cat. So that means there were 2 ways to attack the B site that only Alexi could watch one, and there was still no help for him with 5 players alive on the CT side. Just did a lot of math, and none of it sounds good.
No magic on this one from G2 either, so 3-round lead. Ooh. All right, Jax. That's a Huandig and CZ into the equation.
3-round lead, huh?
Yes. Probably.
Okay. Look at this Palace flank that's coming in. Very timely. He ran just the right amount.
Oh, no.
Electronic's dead.
Oh my god.
3-round lead.
Probably.
Oh, it couldn't get worse.
Probably.
Yeah.
Simple. Oh no. G2.
Yeah, right.
3v5 unarmored pistols.
Yeah.
3v5 unarmored pistols. NaVi did it. They dropped it twice. 2 times G2 have been able to win these kinds of situations.
He doesn't need the gun.
Oh my god.
He
But
doesn't
how?
even need it.
But how?
They all refragged. They got into great spots. Listen, there's a better team that played better CS. Okay. Hunter. Alexi. I'm going to list you off some players. Hunter,
okay.
Alexi, Niko, Jax, and Monacy.
Oh, that sounds like a pretty good team.
Full stop. That's it.
But surely nobody would have the money to make a team like that.
Yeah. Carlos just laughing. Spitting and laughing.
Money, you say?
4,200 on Boomich. 4,750 on Electronic. No buy outside that.
Ooh, that's a sketchy one. Not once, but twice. And this time, 3v5. Man, when he got the kills bottom connector, I'm like, okay, cool. He grabbed a Galil, got an AK. Yeah, all right, yeah. Yeah, little freebies. Take what you can get. That Alexi flank. That's the nail in the coffin. Perfecto. Dunked on. Ooh, G2 making this interesting.
Appreciate the bravery for Alexi to be playing in the B site almost solo all the time. They have Monacy here on Cat, but that site was right for the attack. I mean, you scared him a bit with that initial grenade. But if NaVi have seen what we've seen on these past couple of rounds, they'd be more interested in it.
The pistols here for NaVi, not quite that of G2. Perfecto almost. Monacy chomps him down. So simple. Blast face and blasted face as he tries to peek that bench. Splattered on the bottom of middle by this kid.
Yes. Now the youngest player at the major, now that Techno 4K has been eliminated.
Look at that little chrome dome. Right between the eyes.
Whenever I see Moses, I get that mad too.
Buy in. Let's see it. G2 with a little bit of magic. Tie this game off because of it. Let's see if NaVi can survive the test here. Smokes come over.
Yeah. Like a G2 being all over middle. Let's see if the late lurk has anything to work here. I don't know if Bit threw any grenades. He's going quick. Attack's coming in.
Oh, niko made sound. Bit hot on his heels. Oh, and
Oh, he watches for it and still loses.
Jax able to get Perfecto from the top of Ticket. That's the bomb carrier stop, so the round slowed down for a moment. Boomich looking into the jungle, and Monacy's going to end him right then, right there.
Jesus.
Alexi's nade dunked onto Bit, and we have a 2v4. But we've got Simple on the server. Electronic trying to stay right next to him, trying to stay tethered, trying to stay close. Monacy backs up, and now suddenly the two Ts are taking different fights. Electronic, there's no repeat there from Hunter, so a bomb plant made possible, and Electronic can't finish the second. Simple comes off that plant, gets his first kill, 50 health in the 1v2.
Oh, Simple V2, AK at his feet.
Puts the smoke down to give himself some room. Still has yet to plant. 25 seconds left over. Jumps up, saw Alexi, feels that he's getting close. And a no-scope from Simple makes this one look doable. But here he comes. m0NESY on the stairs. His position unknown to Simple. And he's trying to piece this together. Finally decides to commit. And m0NESY ends him.
Woo! Right through default, in between the missiles. To the side of the body, and they don't have to worry about that. Simple with a thunderous no-scope in the 1v2. The tracking has been extraordinary. Barely needs any information at all. He jumped up and saw this and read the walk perfect. I mean, he is just so terrifying.
So sick.
But m0NESY equally so here. The beautiful counter in this position. And actually, what a round. Swings the economy in favor of G2. Straight pistols for NaVi.
Ooh, an easy first one as Perfecto comes out from Palace on his own.
Yeah. These are map-defining clutches at this point.
That they are. With those two crazy wins, with unarmored pistols, and now a m0NESY versus Simple 1v1. G2 well-earned lead. Extended by an easy anti-eco. The economy blossoms for G2. NaVi's still trying to play catch-up, but at least they've got money for the buy. Tactical pause, third time for NaVi. Only one more after this. Hoping Blade can offer some input.
Yeah, off the tac pauses, NaVi I feel like have such a high win percentage because of Blade getting involved with the ideas, and they absolutely need them right now. I just think so far there are so many small details that G2 are actually pulling off that are a little bit better, and NaVi don't have the individuals today behind it. I mean, even that Simple 1v3 is close. He's 14 and 15. Bit is the player who is stealing the show. Usually solo lurking to get entry frags, you know, and sometimes winning a duel where he's getting called out still hitting his shot. So Des talked a lot about Electronic, not his best map so far. And for G2, they don't have any top fraggers either. They just have a really even stack of kills between the 5 of them. niko will win against Bit this time around. Boom and 3 frags. Nice. And gets 2. Hunter gets one back and a headshot angle for Perfecto, but it's not good enough.
Can't get out, can't escape. Fantastic flash from m0NESY.
He's had a couple of key flash assists so far in this game. That's one of them. That would have been a 2v2 if Hunter had died.
Simple push back down into the clutch. G2 looking to rise to the top here. A 14th round on the line. And utility dumped ahead of Simple.
Well, they've been shoved out of this. What a sequence there between the frags from G2, the refrags from NaVi, and Hunter's final answer.
Now Simple, he's desperate for a second as the fire burns right behind him, and still somehow he finds a little more room to work with. He's got a smoke of his own, but the flashes again.
Yeah, another one from m0NESY.
The flashes again, and Hunter, yes, the impact felt
again in their
that one.
Matchups versus NaVi. Hunter has been the king. I would go out on a limb and say he's been the best performer from G2 in the finals. The ones they've lost anyway, which is all of them. but still, somebody who stood out by far and away the most. But again, behind every great peak there's a great flash, and that was m0NESY twice so far in this round. Kiss on the fist for Jax. Keep the morale high as G2 are now on fire.
And 2 away. Drawing blood against NaVi in the opening match, the opening round of the Legends stage. niko kills Boomich, but Perfecto finds Hunter over towards that B site where the bomb currently is, and everybody from NaVi leans. At least what's left of them. They lost their top mid player in Boomich. Does niko want to take a chance? Oh, smoke spam. Nearly catching Alexi B off guard, but
Perfecto's like, yes, shoot back.
Yeah.
I want this.
Simple meet niko, tries to tuck his head, but Electronic's there to just jump in, take that space, create more of it, in fact.
Oh, Monacy wishes he was in spawn for this. Now has a harder rotation across the window, but they're the ones who don't want to peek him as well.
It'll take him a little bit of time to get
No
back
way
to
he's coming into this. Yeah, he's just dead, actually. I'm
Done.
surprised he makes that rotation, considering all the connector presence we just saw. There was no way for Jax to stop this cross. He'll get a kill. However, dude, Jax has 100 HP. They're running towards his side of the map. And he has to figure out if they're going to read the HP. Alexi's down to 45. He's playing further around, starts to walk over, and Bit will catch him off guard. That's his 24th kill. No chance for Alexi now.
No, this one fizzles out. And with that, NaVi put an end to G2's streak, extinguish those flames as quick as they ignite. With the 12th, a little bit of a B-lean, not only with the kill inside of apartments, but Alexi getting dinked, kind of drew that rotate over. That's why Monacy was out of position. NaVi was still a little life left in them, it seems.
Yeah, Monacy's rotation was a little bit weird.
To crawl through the hole?
Considering, yeah, I think that he felt like he had to take a risk, which was probably true. But with the niko dying in window to the pack at the bottom of connector, that's like a free spot for the Tees to go to. I guess, and of course, it comes down to somebody walking up through con and going into jungle. So, wait. Whoa.
They're on ramp.
Okay.
Yeah. Enough crazy stuff has happened. For a second.
I thought he was in BF still. I was just talking.
No, it's
I
all
really
good.
talked that long, huh? What the hell?
No good. All good. That'll be a sigh of relief for NaVi. Now G2 take their third timeout, so each team sitting on one more as we get into the last 5 of this one.
I'm hyped. Yeah, now that we're in these final moments and the streak is ended, it's a 2-round game. I mean, look at that 8-point font on the notes with all the highlights, right? They're dead serious about winning this another tack timeout. That again, off the tacks, NaVi are fierce. They just won that off attack, didn't they?
Yeah. Like you said.
Big blade. He's been anchoring this team, centering them.
Scouting the talent.
Yeah. He's a no bullshit coach. You ask him a question in real life, it better not be funny because he's not laughing, even if it is.
Here we go. Back into the action. A warning shot whizzes by Jax. Simple gets out of there real quick with the bomb. Ooh, G2, all right. Again, off of their tack pause. See if things change too much. They establish Monacy on the angle. He's holding bottom ramp, waiting for any kind of a peek in.
Yeah, he's swinging right now, though. niko's opening himself up to a bunch of timings, but this is usually where
Smoke.
he's scared for his opponents, not him. Did they miss their top con smoke?
Yeah. No, the top window and maybe top connector, because window was missed and Bit had to burn his smoke for it. Then Jax, he activates.
Oh, that's simple. Dead Perfecto, low bomb spotted. Intentions understood. niko in the right side of the window as Bit crosses by him.
They cross.
But there's a way for, oh my god.
Oh, if niko doesn't check this.
But who could look back? But Bit's got nothing else to do. He might turn his attention around. Timing's here as he walks back out of the window over towards B, and Alexi kills the guy inside the site. Bit still has a way to win this round.
He doesn't seem to have seen that Alexi got over towards Van. At least the time's not too big of an issue just yet. But Bit, there it is. There it is. Confirmation on Alexi. Taps into him. Ends it. Creates an opening inside of the B site. Bomb comes out at 2v2.
Oh, the amount of things that are happening so far.
Dude, there were layers. This one got stringy.
The retake positions are good. There's no one up in B halls. Will they jump up there?
niko goes and grabs a smoke. Double flashbang here for Monacy. Post-plant position's going to be Bit on Get Right, and Perfecto above him supporting the cat so that Bit can just keep his attention towards market. Bomb halfway gone. Kit on Monacy, none for niko. Smoke, again, still within the equation, but niko is dead. Insta-kill in from Perfecto, and Monacy, that timidness, it sinks in. They let this one slip, even with the fadeaway frag. It is a 13th for NaVi, Bit behind enemy lines.
Oh, man.
Just jackknifes that B site open, and the game goes on.
I can't believe the timing we just saw right there. There was moments where Bit could have seen the barrel from niko inside the window if he had turned around, just to check the smoke that he walked out of. I wouldn't have been surprised if he did. And then niko as well, who, with the window smoke, had a timing inside a jungle. And like ships in a night he gets by, it's impossible for him to know what exactly happened, besides the fact that there was a smoke in the window. And Bit all of a sudden was in the market. Can't put that one on Alexi. A timing needed to be called. And with that save, a full buy comes in from G2 to keep NaVi at arm's length. Ostensible amount of HEs here on the CT side, and 4 towards A, and this has been their regular setup so far. NaVi have a ton of presence inside of the A halls. It's kind of unclear exactly what they want to do, but it seems like Bit is going to set up for his lurk once again. 2 full kits walking away from the A site. Will m0NESY disrespect the space? Probably not. He's alone. Oh, Jax dies. They push off that flash.
With that, we now have G2 sinking back man disadvantage.
Yeah, they were ready to push on both sides, and m0NESY, he wishes he could join the action on B, but at least he could tell his 3 teammates to gear up for a fight.
But Hunter still looks to go bolster that B site. niko at the helm of Connector, and Alexi B tasked with a massive challenge. Simple burns himself down to 60. Alexi's going to confirm it. Util starts to come out from ramp, and Alexi B looks to just tuck in here. He has no support, none whatsoever. I mean, he's just trying to hide, trying to minimize himself, and he just lets them walk in, kill everybody. There's nobody there on stairs to help. There's nobody in jungle to even draw attention away. He just hides and dies, and with it, NaVi take a 14th,
Whoa.
tying this game up.
Oh man, they didn't play off the information at all. Hunter rotates out towards B after m0NESY sees deep into the halls, and they push the palace. They saw Simple with the op. They didn't see the bomb, I guess. But I honestly thought that that's a position where either Hunter can come in for m0NESY and push the B halls behind his op, take over control of it, or m0NESY can simply go deep if he really wants to and start to walk back to the center. Oh my god, what a flick from m0NESY. Okay, and now Hunter will have to try to save.
And he's got it.
Well, yeah, it seems like he'll pull it off.
With an op.
With an op as well. Yeah, they're too far to kill him. 14-14. Do they buy?
Oh, I don't know, man.
Do they buy? They have 5K on one player.
Yep.
An op. I would seriously consider it. But it is one where they don't have to fully invest and they can still see odds of winning. That was such
decision.
That was such a strange move overall at the end of it. But the one thing that worked really well here that Boomich did was just throw that one flash over towards the B site. That was enough to get them to check on the extremity on the other side of the map if anyone was there. Since m0NESY thought an op could have been flashed into that position, that was calmed.
I'm still so confused with how little Alexi tried to do.
I don't know, like he should have either played retake totally, or why weren't they all there? You know, why weren't they all there? I feel like there was not enough time for it to be the B side at that point, but yeah, that was very weird. I have no idea.
Well, here we are. What's happened has happened, and what can happen, we're about to find out. m0NESY hangs on to the op. It is the full investment here from G2, and the limitation's clear with an MP9 of FAMAS and lesser nades than their counterparts of NaVi. This T side, 3 rounds in a row. After G2 were on fire with 5. 2 rounds left to play, all the money on the line here right now for the CTs. And m0NESY's going to open up. Immediately turns his attention back towards the B apartments. Alexi's going to just clamber on top of the van.
Yeah, they're not full committing off this.
Nope.
Bomb's starting to walk over.
They actually fade away from it.
Still got a ramp control as well for G2. What can Simple do here? There are spots where he could be set up to trade out frags, but it's actually Jax on the crack spot. Back to walking Palace. just as we saw in round 28. Late smoke down on the ramp, and they can play within it. So I don't know about the
25.
Palace play in this situation, and niko's going to know that this is Bit walking up into the bottom of the neck. Once again, he's been doing that.
And there's Jax with just one. niko, he's able to get something in the middle of it all, keeps that man advantage up for G2. Oh, he saw that. Simple saw that jump, he expects it. Perfecto just plant that bomb with his 9 HP. Simple predicting the angle, but Modesty looking to bring it back from CT spawn. Now Simple knows the last 2 positions, but can he hit the shots?
Oh,
we know he can, but the question is, will he hit these ones?
He's not playing on default. This is a trick. 40 HP, and they are going to think he's in a certain number of positions, but this means he has to get a kill early to play back towards a bomb.
Smoke goes in. Oh, that's Alexi. That's Alexi down, and now it's another 1 versus 1. Oh, Simple wins it this time. 15 for Na'Vi off of the back of their Stars clutch.
And there's that impact.
And you can lose a 1v1 versus Monacy, but when it's for 15, when it matters that little bit more, Simple delivers.
There's a position where a little bit of information goes a mile for him, and they give him this peek because the bomb is planted in such a spot they think in the back of their heads, no way he would play here. And then he hits a lightning fast shot onto Monacy, and Na'Vi have guaranteed overtime and chewed through a Hail Mary buy from G2 where they saved an op and started out with the kills.
Ooh, one way from Monacy. Loses his vision. G2 looking to force OT off the back of a 5v4. They're making something with the little that they still have to hold on to.
They are.
Can Na'Vi still close?
The meta of this round's interesting. You know, they really want that gun at top boxes, but they can't get to it safely. They're playing 5v4, but you better believe they don't feel like it's over just yet. However, neither do Na'Vi. Even knowing they've got a significant utility advantage, rifle advantage, you name it. Still 4v5, it's scary.
Looking to target that B site instead. Who's waiting? It's Alexi. Incendiary in hand. Hunter's up cat, but with an MP9.
Yeah.
And that's where the economic leverage of Na'Vi, a clear advantage. And Hunter, he's not even floating on the bricks. He could start walking back now.
It's a different kind of lurk. They see Bit leaving, and Electronic is coming late out middle.
niko holds cat, and with that now, everybody can turn around. Alexi just got shot in the head from Hunter. That's not going to make things easier, but still this crossfire for a moment it held. Man advantage, bomb dropped. 10 seconds for Simple to pull out another clutch, but there's simply no time. He smokes on top of the bomb, and G2 extend play to OT.
Okay, we go to overtime. There are more questions to be answered. I think we needed overtime to solve, because this game has gotten really insane in some moments.
Dude, Hunter almost killed Alexi.
I know, that was close.
Talk about nerves. Just starts shooting his own IGL straight in the face.
At least he didn't have an op.
Yeah, fair point. I try to paint this picture like, yeah, the cat rotate from Hunter. That'll definitely help Alexi.
I thought this idea was kind of cool. I mean, they had a Bit who threw his kit as the underpass lurk, has been just doing that over and over again. A credit to niko, he has been able to start winning duels there, and also takes out Electronic on cat as a late player who hasn't been used as a lurk before. So they try to draw attention away from it, and it doesn't work out. And now we are into overtime, which is entirely fitting.
Yeah. For these two teams, let's see it. Oh, caught on the jump over, Boomich.
Another nade death for Boomich, potentially, if he's not careful.
Ooh. Next one's up. Sure enough, between the two frags, they find him.
ISOing
and then
middle.
Jax also able to cut down that Palace play. Simple, he's just going to disrespect Smoke and try to get ahead.
He's looking for Tempo. Oh, his gun sticks out. Alexi B takes out the opper, the clutcher of the team. The man who got him here.
First OT round looks fantastic for G2. Total map control, total shutdown, no openings.
Yeah. Boomich just wanted to sit there. You know, he just wanted a place to sit down. They said no loitering. Here's all of our nades, 3 CTs, and we're going to put them in an underpass to catch you going over to the right side in the first place. So targeted assault, and now it's Perfecto to go down, and G2 win the first round of OT, and it's a very good round. Especially following up from the last round of regulation that got them here. There are no timeouts left.
No.
And we've seen how favorable timeouts have been towards NaVi in performing this comeback.
Blade's just going to have to lean back, grit his teeth, and hope that his players can figure this one out. A faster look towards the B-apps, maybe. Boomich not wanting to be on the receiving end of more grenades. Enough is enough. G2, if they're not going to have him push around, then maybe they go to him instead. Heavy mid presence from the defense. And if niko wants to peek down into underpass, there are two players potentially there for the taking, but instead they bite back. Perfecto opens up. Unlike last round, it's NaVi with man advantage to start, but Hunter very quickly quells that threat towards top mid. It's not Boomich to die first, but it's still Boomich locked out. Simple, nice shot. Flicks it slightly into Jax. Man advantage taken right back.
Oh, they keep
and G2 boost Hunter to hold.
They keep refreshing the spots in middle as well, and NaVi continuously want to fight in here. And did a window smoke get missed? I don't know.
Wouldn't be the first one.
Yeah. Makes things a little complicated. Now there's an overemphasis from G2 inside of middle around the 40-second mark. They're probably going to start falling out of these spots, but NaVi are not exactly gearing up for their sight hit, and m0NESY is now starting to get nervous about the thought of it ending A. It's a good suspicion to have. As we can see, the T's are starting to move back in this direction. Hunter got a key refrag inside of middle and is in a great spot to get another one.
Should most certainly cut that off, but it's not a kill. It's just a tidbit of damage. And now all of a sudden, they're going to go flooding up through connector. m0NESY instantly killed. Hunter will still get electronic. Bomb's going to be able to cross. There's somebody hot on his heels through connector, and that needs to be Bit to stop it, but Bit gets shaved off. We're right into the 2v2. T-side falls back, plays Palace. Simple, insight, holds on fire, and waits. We've got a frag and 2 flashes for the T's. We've got no more grenades for G2, but we have Hunter on 4 kills. And if he can pull out an ace in overtime to keep this flawless CT side going, then wouldn't that be magical? After all the ridiculous rounds that G2 can win, after pushing this to OT, is Perfecto going to be enough? They're not watching him. He cuts off Hunter. Time is of the essence. Frag goes down. Alexi sticking this nearly all the way, but Perfecto holds.
Oh.
And NaVi ties 16 each.
Oh, Perfecto pulls up for the clutch in overtime. Wow, dude, man, Hunter just kept churning out frags at every single point in the round from a new position. Even when he gets shoved out of a spot after not finding a kill, he still continues on to kill the 2 suspects that he saw at the bottom of connector 20 seconds ago, but he's got no help behind that. Everybody else falls. What G2's antidote to NaVi pressing themselves into middle control was continuously refresh spots. Jax coming into connector after niko dies. Hunter on Cat getting boosted up on bricks after taking his first peek at an underpass. And it actually is the right call. It was the late mid play from NaVi, but it was the individuals from NaVi in that one. Simple refragging m0NESY inside of CT spawn. Think about how over that round would be if he didn't hit that shot.
Couple of pieces of utility exchanged, a peek down into the ramp. That's some information gathered for G2. But in terms of control, NaVi have mid. Alexi decides to swing out the second op. Simple falls past him. Good shot from Alexi B. That's Boomich out of this one. 40 seconds left for NaVi to try and get that second T round win in overtime.
Yeah, quick shot and punish. Another 5v4 here for G2.
m0NESY looking primed. Sure enough, hits Bit. Now 5v3. Simple still so close to Alexi. Did he see that?
Yeah, he saw.
Alexi's right there. Simple executes it with the Desert Eagle. That's the bomb. Oh,
the
and
lurk.
Perfecto. He gets through the murder hole. There's a single defender in Hunter on B. And while Jax buys a little bit of time, It's still the end of him. Can Hunter be the miracle? No! Simple, up close, as they stayed sharp, stayed focused, and stay ahead of G2, barring niko and a miraculous 1v3. He has no grenades to get out from market. He has no incendiaries to burn players from their positions. He needs to rely on what he has. That's aim. But aim not the only aspect of this game. Navi, they squeeze out a second.
I was shocked to see this, too, on T side. They get the Perfecto lurk after the Perfecto 1v2 to lock it in, catching both CT rotations. Another 5v4 start for G2, and that's not enough. The setups have been good. They've been searching out a ramp when there's no T's there. They've been getting some space back. It starts with a simple 1D. And after Alexi got his first kill with the op out of ladder room, I thought that was it. He was in such a strong position. Even though Navi won mid control, they didn't have that cap presence. And G2 had players still left alive. Modesty grabbed another. It was even fact 5v3 before that point. But they took that mid control. It did something with it.
Yes.
They got into the murder hole. And Perfecto, of course.
They paid the entry cost and then got their money's worth.
Yeah, find that timing.
Perfecto with critical impact in overtime.
We're talking about razor-thin margins in the first half, so wouldn't necessarily say this is written and done. Navi only one round ahead. But I think it was Navi who really, played palpably worse in that first half, even though it was pretty close half overall. I wonder if they feel the same way. What their expectations are coming into the second half of overtime. And G2 actually never tried a full A hit. Like they're currently setting up for the right side smokes.
Here we go. Boomage at bat. Gets Hunter first. Jax in sight. Great trade. Use that space properly. Simple not able to find any targets through the smoke. Alexi just rattles some bullets in and falls back. Bomb will be planted default. Quick pressure though.
Electronic. The flash.
Dude!
Jax!
That's a huge bit of impact. As he just left Alexi out to dry, he was able to recover. That peak looked like it was going to be the end of the bomb plant. And now Bit and Simple 2v4. Jax has done everything for G2 this round, and by the looks of it, Navi are out. They tap. They let this go. Jax with the impact.
Yeah. Okay, the refrag on Boomich, 2 frags in CT spawn. That's the whole round on him. Just off of those kills. And actually, it was the T side in this Mirage game that we saw Jax have, by far the most stamps in terms of MVPs of rounds. So I'm not so surprised to see him really hit some shots here on the entries and make a lot of space very quickly. That spot where the bomb gets planted default is crazy because they don't actually have CT spawn control. They're just more worried about the threats of actually getting the bomb down with players alive on cat, players alive in jungle. But I think they flashed CT maybe so that Jax could peek.
Yep.
And was almost mistimed. I mean, it wasn't at the end of the day, but
nearly.
Yeah, that bomb gets dropped. It's not easy to plant it again.
Oh, man, they're playing a dangerous game with that one.
Yeah.
But
there's been narrow margins for both teams, to be fair.
Still anybody's game.
And now Navi are being a lot more active about middle. This is way different from what we saw in half number 1.
Jack's going to try to rinse and repeat, look for another clean entry pathing, but this time hitting B. Util starts to come over. Perfecto fully blind. Bit able to hold off one. That's the bomb confirmed and down on the dirt. Jax has been spotted. A second here from Bit. He's just letting them trickle outwards. This continuity in the flashbangs. Finally, something comes back. It's Modesty and niko in the 2 versus 5. They put the kid in the clutch and Boomich ends him. Navi have taken 18 and will have another match point to work with.
Oh, now we're talking. Now the energy's here. They're thinking. And they stopped that first kill. I think they needed to get out of the window in that situation instead of just peering out over towards Van, and they got mauled. This is 2 rounds. G2 decide to go for full A, then full B. 2 things that they really didn't use very often. Maybe the B sites a couple of times. But overall, the T rounds early on, if we don't have a short memory, were insanely slow, and that's not been the case right now. They've thrown it out the window to go back to their old style. And it could be because of the activity from NaVi as well. They've been kind of much more frisky about all of their different positions here now around connector and jungle.
Oh my god, electronic
4
peaks.
T's seen off that peak.
Holy hell.
That is an insane amount of information to gain.
And yet Bit goes forward. All that presence, and he looks to lock into the bunker. He taps the Fin. They're able to get past him. Perfecto's going to be under question, but Bit gets the bomb! And Perfecto cuts it off on the other end, and with that, NaVi survived the test!
Bit with the headshots are back!
It takes a little OT, but Bit is back in his entirety.
Yeah, one
Excellent
bullet.
game from him. Excellent clutches from Simple. And an awesome showing from G2 that took all of us by surprise. A different flavor from G2. A different look in regulation. NaVi survived their opening match. NaVi survived their test. And G2 will join the other great teams at 0-1.
And 0-1, yeah. If it wasn't already a nightmare. Either of them going down was going to be tough. This is a Mirage game that they damn near had. I mean, you know, they touched on to 15 or the 14. It was like 14-12 at one point, of course, but leave it to NaVi to perform a comeback. And it's crazy to just see like the composition of the rounds change so drastically in terms of game philosophy as the game rolled on. And we saw NaVi get more aggressive on their CT sides, and G2 also pick up the tempo on their T sides. Has me wondering what that first half was all about.
Yeah.
How long ago that was.
More questions, and some answers. But to give you guys even more answers to unpack all that, we pass this one back over to the analysts.
There was a reason why this matchup was viewed as such a split affair, and Mirage delivered exactly that. NaVi are the ones to be pushing it over the line at the final minutes, gentlemen. What a fashion to be doing it. I don't even know how we're going to be breaking down this.
Yeah, what a comprehensive game of Counter-Strike. Just so many different looks in that one. We had clutches, we had star power, we had great strategies, excellent splits. That gave us everything, Maniac. I don't even know where to start, so I'm going to let you do it.
It's the highest level of Counter-Strike, and I think it's the best proof you ever need that sometimes a game of Counter-Strike is decided in a millisecond, a minute timing. So many of these rounds were drained to the last second, were played on a timing. That window lurk, for example, let's just get by G2. These were decided by details, and I had an amazing time watching it.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely incredible to witness. I mean, we're just looking at the scoreboard across the board, the fact that Bit, 31 kills, bottom fragging, Boomage, 17 kills, literally almost exactly the same when you look over the side of G2 as well. It wasn't necessarily a question of those individuals, but one individual I was really impressed with, already said his name, was Bit. We were looking at him coming into this to, you know, be delivering, rather, that consistent form that we saw in 2021, and I am liking what I'm seeing from him so far.
Yeah, extremely high expectations for Bit, and he delivered hugely in that game. You could see just towards the very end, so many of these rounds he's in a position to multi-kill, and he does so perfectly, and he even plays it cleverly. It's not only based on his aim, it's not only based on his mechanical prowesses, he knows when to fight, when to cut back, get back into the game. He got the bomb towards the very end. That was massive. He had a huge game from Bit.
You say it's not all about his mechanics.
It's not only about it. Not only about it.
This guy had 23 headshots, okay? that is insane. I usually don't care that much about headshot percentage, but when your time to kill is as fast as Bits, when he's running into a bomb site, it is tough to stop him. You think you're ready, you think you're in a good setup, but he broke some of those setups open for G2. The way that he is able to just, on a dime, stop, find the headshot, move on to the next target. It is explosive stuff. It's what we needed if NaVi really wanted to be contenders at this major. We needed Bit to show up. We needed Simple. We got it. I want a little bit more from Electronic, but at the same time, I'm liking what I'm seeing from NaVi already.
Yeah, we definitely got what we wanted from Simple as well. I want to throw round 29 into the mix. That was one of my favorite moments from this map. An incredible clutch from Simple.
Yeah, I feel like round 29 is all that Simple is about. It's the beauty of Simple. It's the finest detail of what he can bring to the table. It starts with Monacy picking up that first kill. This is the 5v4 with 30 seconds left. G2 have everything they need. They have 2 rifles close onto the A side. They should be able to finish off and go back to 15. Here that timing being found by Electronic, pushes them down the drain, kills coming in from Jax and niko, trades happening, and this is now what Simple is about. It's about searching for information. It's about maximizing any kind of advantage you can find in the clutch. Beautiful wallbang onto niko. He had spotted them before. Monacy finds Perfecto, and now Simple starts to dance. And even before he got there, he played around angles for so long. And there is only Simple, I guarantee you, only Simple in the world plays that 1v1 like this. That angle didn't even exist before Simple played in that 1v1. I am not kidding you. He is the only player on Earth that would actually take that 1v1 because at the time he knows I have 0.1 second to find the shot, but I will.
I just want to quote you, Maniac. I hope you don't mind. Before that
Do
round
I?
happened, you said there's absolutely no way NaVi should win this round. It is literally only Simple that could make that round work.
Just looking at that angle, there's so many reasons people don't do that. You're playing left eye kind of crouched angle into a right eye swing. All of the mechanics work against that, but Simple just trusts in himself more than anything. And he knows the panic that m0NESY's going to be experiencing. He knows that he wants to just run to the site. m0NESY recognizes the win condition for himself in that moment. Just get to the bomb. That's the danger of getting back to Tetris, is that if they stick that, you have to charge onto them, and he knows that is the one shot he has. That's a one he has to take, and he makes it count.
And even before he gets to that position I just briefly mentioned, in the 1 versus 2, he drains time. He fakes plant twice. He uses the smoke on side. He fakes again, jumps above the smoke. How many times did we see him jump at the edge of the smoke? Because he's just trying to gather information. He knows if he can spot one of the two, then he put the pieces together. That's why Simple is exceptional. Because in that 1 versus 2, if you give him just an edge, you give him a millimeter, he's going to take it, he's going to clutch you.
Even the trade he got to open up that 2v4, that wall bang right through the edge of the balcony, I mean, everything he did in that round, start to finish, just fantastic stuff. World class, best in the world, hands down.
I love that we're seeing an informed Simple to be beginning off the major as well. I mean, I do want to give some props to G2 throughout this. They did look really, really good. Some of the individuals really shining. I know you were talking about Jax having some really instrumental, impactful moments. Just unfortunate that they couldn't push it over the line, and now they're going to be falling into those 0-1 teams.
Yeah, it is unfortunate if you're G2 because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good you play against NaVi. You're in 0-1. You're going to have hard matches coming your way. I hope they are not too hurt emotionally from dropping the ball in that one. I think they had what they needed to close the game. Remember, they won what it is, a niko round, like 3v4 worst situations. They had all the cards. They had all the tools to go in that 1-0 category. Now they have to reset. I like the approach. They gave us a new flavor on the T side, something we haven't really seen from G2, but it just wasn't enough, and I hope it doesn't chip at the confidence.
Yeah, this felt like a little bit of a wasted performance from Hunter.
Right.
He played out of his mind. It felt like every single round he had ways to bring things back for G2. His mid holds were dominant at that. I'd say on the T side, he also found ways to just have so much impact. Just Hunter in a mid round is one of the best in the world, just hands down. I before, when he was kind of coming up, saw him almost as kind of a NaV type. He has surpassed NaV. He is one of the best riflers out there. And in a game like this, where every single frag matters as much as it does, Hunter delivered so many. But it's just a shame because G2 sometimes they couldn't always recognize what their losing condition in a round was, and sometimes they played into those a little bit. Sometimes there's just that solo player on B. Sometimes there's just a rotation or an opening on the map that they just don't actually keep track of. Those moments came back to bite him, but Hunter, even though that seemed to catch so many of the other players from G2 off, he was ready for every single fight presented to him.
Yeah, he was, but the rest of the team wasn't. And that, to me, that's where it hurts for G2. And I think that Boomich or Blade or someone on NaVi realized that. They realized very close to the end of the game that if they were to slow down the clock to a maximum, then G2 would somehow falter. Because when you're 14-11, you should be closing. But they knew. They knew that if they played these rounds really slowly with double lurks, with timings, that's where your nerves really get activated. When you have 25 seconds left and you must be thinking, that's it, they have to be in front of me, and then you get headshotted. That was really well played by NaVi, a mind game all the way.
Yeah, it was incredible to witness. Of course, that does wrap up our opening matchups here at the Legend stage of the PGL ANTWERP Major. Of course, 8 more best of ones to be on the cards throughout today as well. But just recapping some of these results, of course, we didn't get to witness some of the stuff that was going down on the B stream. Unfortunately, that Bad News Eagles matchup versus Copenhagen Flames,
close.
That was so nail-bitingly close. And there were some rounds, but I mean, we were watching it with our second eye, I guess, in the green room. There were some of the rounds from BNE that they shouldn't be winning that they won, and then some rounds they definitely should be winning that they didn't.
I think that's the story of BNE, though. You have to take the good with the bad. You know you're playing to some crazy win conditions at times. You have players that are ready to go through smokes, and when it works, cool. You guys made an X factor play in that round, but when you do it in a 4v3 and you're up, it's a one way to give away an advantage for free. So with BNE, it's great that they made it this far. I'm going to have I think they can probably squeak out a win, but this is going to be a very tough stage for them.
I know what you mean. It was heartbreaking to see them, specifically on the second pistol round. I think they had done enough in the first half to give themselves the conditions to go for that 1-0. They have that 3v1 situation in the pistol round. They find all the kills on the A side, and a little bit of I don't know, lack of patience, maybe too eager to go and get the last kill. They give the 3v1 away. From that moment on, Copenhagen Flames, you give them that opportunity, they're going to strike back. They regain control of what was happening. I'm sure they'll be full of regrets, but that is also the danger of the format we're playing right now. There's not exactly a lot of time to reset your emotions. You have to be ready for the next game.
Cloud9 versus Outsiders, that was a matchup that you, specifically Maui, you were very, very excited for, obviously going the way of Cloud9, 16-12, so quite a close affair. Any takeaways from that? Obviously, we weren't, focusing on it on this stream, but is that the result you expected?
I've got Cloud9 as my 3-0 for you. So in a way, I kind of expected this. I do love the Outsider guys. I think that they are a fantastic team, but I think that there's still just a lot that's surrounding them and shrouding what their future is. And it's very hard to put that away. Whereas on the side of Cloud9, I think my narrative for this one is just that this is a team that there was uncertainty about too, but now that they have their org behind them, now that they can just focus on the game and what's in front of them, I am confident that this team is going to look better than they did in the last couple months.
You would hope. You would hope that's the extra 5%. I think that has to be the narrative for Cloud9 all the way. If we'd ask people in the stream randomly from Counter-Strike, say, hey, do you think they have the level to win? Yes. Yes, they do. Like, inherently, they have the level to win. But the $1 million question is, are you going to bring that level at the major? And we still have to put an asterisk. This is just studio. We are just at the legend stage, right? I feel like for Cloud9, that's the moment where they shine. That's the moment where they deliver the best. We're going to have all our eyes on them when and if they make it to the playoffs.
Biggest upset thus far of the B stream, Furia unfortunately falling to Spirit. I was very surprised at that, particularly, we were sitting in the green room saying, Nuke, not a map that we particularly favoured Spirit going on to either. Wasn't even Dexter that needed to step up either way.
I think that's the biggest shocker.
Yeah.
I know.
The Challenger stage was fantastic. He was phenomenal. Probably the best opera in the Challenger stage if you just look at purely stats. And then to see that it's some of the other guys like Siren and Patsy that are delivering for Spirit, that's a shock. And I think it's a shock to Furia fans and even me, because I have Furia going through this stage. They've been doing really well lately.
I have them as well. And Spirit were completely able to build a wall on the CT side. Siren, just on the CT side of that game, had 19 kill and 3 deaths. 19 and 3 on the CT side, something that was relatively unexpected. Furia is usually a team we give a lot of praises to for the unconventional way they approach the T side of Nuke. They have ways to play that is not exactly in the meta. They make it work beautifully. Not here. Only 2 rounds after a good first half, and this is a shocker. I absolutely did not see that one coming.
The final matchup of the B stream, of course, literally just finished wrapping. Maui, you'll be very happy about this one. Big managed to take down Imperial. It did start off in a 13-2 pretty dominant fashion, but final scoreline 16-11. So Imperial did try to get back into that one.
There was a bit of a comeback there. You could say that. But Big had this one in the bag all the way through. 13-2. I will say there are some concerns for why Big couldn't close this one out a little bit faster. But I love what I saw from faveN and Crimbo. The new additions to Big stepping up as they should, given their status in this major. The fact that they qualified through the RMR 3-0, immediately secured the legend spot, beating Big in that final BO3. This is the level that I have been hoping for Big for some time now. I have put the statement out there that I think this Big roster can make it to the top 5. Give them some time, and they'll show more of this. I guarantee it.
It's finally the end of the Sirs and Tapson show, and I think this is where we at the desk, we started to running out of argument, running out of ideas and narratives when we were basically just hoping Sirson is going to show up, miraculously give us the 2020 online form. Tapson would go back to being a Matt Fragger. It's been proven that this is not going to be enough for Big to go through and become a better team. And now Crimbo starts shining.
Yes.
faveN is now that 4th player that just has to be stable. And now we have a story that starts to make sense.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what they're going to be continuing to deliver going